Okay, so let's do prime factorization with the pen plus gear scientific calculator. This calculator you can get at Walmart for less than $5. Okay, so first, to do prime factorization on the calculator, we need to know something about prime numbers. Prime numbers are divisible by themselves, or 1, and the only even number that is a prime number is 2. Everything else is odd. Some of the prime numbers that you should know: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and 23. So 6 is not in here because 6 is composed of these prime numbers, 2 times 3. And none of these prime numbers you can break down any further. 6 is called a composite number, and then these numbers that can't be broken down, they are called prime numbers. So you can take 10 and break it down into prime numbers to do something called prime factorization. So in this case, 10, this ends up with 0. We know that 2 will go into 10 to break it down. And we can use our calculator. 10 divided by 2 equals, and gives you 5. So 10 can be broken down into 2 times 5. Okay, and that's the answer, 2 times 5. Let's do 50, right? It ends with 0, so we know that 2 goes into 50 to break it down. And we can use our calculator, our pen plus gear, and this gives you 25. 25, it ends in 5. Could we use 3 into 25? Sure, divided by 3, but it won't come out nicely, so we won't use 3. 25 divided by 5, we know that 5 goes into 25 5 times. So 50 is broken down into 2 times 5 times 5, but we like to make shortcuts, notations that look a little bit nicer. So 2, right, this is a 2, times 5 squared. Okay, now in class you might see it this way: 50 with a tree. 2 goes into 50, 25. 5 goes into 25 5 times, and then you circle here. It's a little more messier for me, the trees. So I do these upside down brackets. It's up to you. Okay, let's do 350. Can we break down 350? Yes, because 2 goes into 350 because this ends in the 0. Oh, okay. So does 2 go into 350? Sure it does, 350. Divided by 2, 175. Okay, good. It ends in 5, so I know 5 will go into 175. In this case, we just say divide. See the answer, previous answer, divided by 5. 35. This number ends at 5, so 5 going to 35, so we just say divide by 5, right? What does that equal to? 7. Okay, so 350 equals 2 times 5 squared times 7. Now, why do these prime factorizations? Because we can take something like 50 divided by 350, okay? And by hand, we can reduce this by using prime factorizations. 2 times 5 times 5. 50 is broken down into 2 times 5 times 5. 350 is broken down to 2 times 5 times 5 times 7. And then cancel, cancel, cancel. And there is a 1 here, right? So that ends up to be 1 over 7. Now we can do that with this calculator, right? We can say 50 ABC 350 equals 1 over 7. Very nice. Calculator has its own functions to break it down. Okay. Now let's try 101. 101 turns out to be not broken down into primes because it's prime itself. The thing is, if you, let's say you start it like, oh, I don't know if 2 goes into it, so you say 101 divided by 2. It's not even. And you might say, well, it might be divisible by 3. No. And then 101 divided by 5. No. So how far do you go right? Because eventually it's going to end up, and we'll find out there is a prime number, 101, but you don't know these prime numbers up to 101. Where can we safely stop? Well, it turns out that you can take the square root, right? That's the third root. Now the square root of 101, right? And that gives you 10.049, which is approximately, when you do prime numbers, 11. So you can stop up to 11. So 2, 5, 3, of course, 7 and 11. We can use these numbers. 2 goes into 101, 5 goes into 101, 3 goes into 101. We already did up to 5. 101 divided by 7, no. And then 101 divided by 11, no. And we can stop there. You can try 13, you can try 19 and 17, right? 101 divided by 23, but it's going to take you forever. But we know that we can stop at 11. And this is prime number. You're like, I wish I had a calculator that can do this for me. There is. And it's the Casio FX300 ES Plus or the Casio FX115 ES Plus. Both of these calculators, and I think there's another one. So in this case, right, you can take like 350, press equals, and then shift and this minute button. See, it breaks it down. 2 times 5 squared times 7. And for 101, you press equals and then shift this minute button. It stays 101 because it's prime. It's a very nice calculator. It has different features, and it has a lot of features and a lot of setup. Look at like this keyboard here, these 2 buttons. Some people think that this is a Casio in disguise. Look, it says delete and AC. Very similar. RCL engineering. Look, it has the dots here, but this one doesn't have the factorization key function. Let's try 51. Some people might think, oh, it's prime, but it's not. Okay. There's a trick. If you take 51 and you add the numbers, in this case it's 6, and if that number that you sum, right, is divisible by 3, then you can divide this by 3. And you can actually. 51, so 3 can go into 51. 3 is divisible into 51. 51 divided by 3, 17. Okay. So 51, it can be broken down to 3 times 17. But if you take 51 and take the square root of 51, right? The square root of 51, that gives you 7.14, which the next prime number would be 11. So you can take 2, 3, right? 5, 7, and 11, right? 51. So this is 7, right? Yeah, to 11. And 2, 3, 5, 7, or 11 might go into 51, and we know that 3 did. Okay? So just because it looks like, it looks kind of weird, it's prime, it's not. Okay? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends. Please tell your teacher so that they can post it so that the class can look at it. There's more things in this course that you'll find that deal with algebra. And if there's something that you want to see, put it in the comment section and maybe I can do that. All right. I hope you have a great semester. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.